Hey everyone, today I am 28 weeks and 5 days. Um, let's see, I had my 3D ultrasound on, last Wednesday, and that was pretty neat. So I'll post some pictures of that at the end of the video. And then I had a doctor's appointment yesterday, and weight-wise, I'm up to 159 pounds, so I have now gained 20 pounds into this pregnancy. Let's see. They checked my iron, and it is up to 10.9 from 8.0 at my 24-week visit, I think. So that's good. They did an ultrasound to make sure where my placenta was, and it's still a complete previa. His heart rate during the ultrasound was 125, and so it was really low compared to what his normal is. I know it's normal to be between 120 and 160, but it just really bothered me because his has been being between in the 140s and 150s, and occasionally 130s, but more so along the lines of the 140s and 150s. And so, and plus he's not been moving as much as he normally has. And maybe I'm just paranoid about it, but which I know I am. But anyways, eventually they just let us do a non-stress test, and I guess it came back okay. She said there was a few rises in the heart rate when he was moving, so I don't know. I guess that was okay. And he was measuring a week ahead. His head was measuring at 30 weeks and 3 days, I think. And yesterday I was 28 weeks, 3 days. So his head was measuring 30 weeks, 3 days. Or 30 weeks. No, yeah, his head was measuring 30 weeks, 3 days. And I was 28 weeks, 4 days. So, but anyways, overall, he was measuring about a week ahead after all the measurements were taken. And he was right at 3 pounds. So he was 2 pounds and 14 ounces, which is basically right about 2 pounds shy from, or 2 ounces shy from 3 pounds. So that, and then I'm sorry, I didn't even write any notes today, so I'm kind of winging it. After that, what did we do? We scheduled my betamethasone shot. I'll be having the betamethasone shot on, the 21st of June, and then again on the 22nd of June I'll get another shot. And then on the 23rd of June we will go to the hospital early in the morning, and we will have the amniocentesis done, and it'll take 4 hours for the results to come back. And they just told us to kind of hang around the hospital, and I'll go ahead and get registered, and we'll already be checked in to the hospital. But if the results come back with his lungs not developed, we will come back in a week to do the C-section. If the results come back and his lungs are developed, they'll proceed with a C-section on June 23rd, that same day that I have the amnio, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So if that's the case, then Noah will be here in 6 weeks. So they did that. I took my glucose test and the 1 hour, and I failed it. I kind of figured I would. So they wanted my numbers to be below 135, and mine was 143. So I go back next week on Tuesday to do the 3-hour test, and I'm pretty sure I'll fail that one too, because I had gestational diabetes with my last pregnancy, and I check my blood sugar when I wake up and after meals, just to keep a check on it, because I had it with Hannah, and it stays high after I eat. It comes down if I exercise, but right now my foot hurts so bad that it hurts to be on it too much, so I'm not really able to get a whole lot of exercise in. That's another thing I did yesterday. I went to the doctor. I talked to my OB about my foot. Cause I don't know if I've mentioned it in my videos, but for about the past 2 weeks or so, my foot has been hurting so bad, and it's swollen right behind the toes. on my left foot, and it's only that foot that hurts, but it hurts to walk, it hurts to stand, and eventually by the end of the day my whole foot will be swollen up to my ankle, and it's really painful, and I keep ice on it and stuff. And so I mentioned it to my OB, and they told me to go to my primary care doctor because it sounds like I could have a fracture in my foot, like a stress fracture. So I made an appointment yesterday and went to my primary care doctor, and they said that it could be a blood clot too. She doesn't really think it's a blood clot because the swelling is kind of localized just behind my toes on the top of my foot, but it's possible that it could be. But they're going to rule out a fracture first, so I went yesterday evening to an outpatient imaging center at the hospital, and they took x-rays of my foot. So I'm waiting on a call back from that. I'm praying it's just a fracture or, nothing really. I don't want it to be a blood clot in my foot. My mom has blood clots, and she gets them all the time in her legs. She gets phlebitis, and so I don't want to have to deal with that. So I'm praying that it's not a blood clot. So anyhow, I'm waiting on a phone call for that. I think I pretty much covered everything that happened at the doctor's yesterday. On the ultrasound they said he did have hair. So when I went for the 3D ultrasound, she's like, "Oh, I don't really see any hair." And I was like, "Come on, he's got to have hair. I've been having this crazy heartburn." And Carly didn't have any hair, and I didn't have any heartburn. Hannah had a head full of hair, and I had heartburn all the time. I have heartburn all the time now, and I was like, so this baby has to have hair. So yesterday on the ultrasound, she's like, "Oh yeah, he's got a pretty good bit of hair back there." So she said if he kept it up at this rate, that he would have a complete head full of hair by the time he was born. So anyhow, we did that, and I think that's pretty much for the appointment. As far as symptoms go, my hips, I'm getting Charlie horses in my hips, especially when I lay down. So that's happening, and then heartburn, of course. The baby's movements are different. Like I said, I think he slowed down in his movements some. And I go to the doctor, my maternal fetal medicine doctor, on Friday, so I'm going to mention it to him too. As I did mention it to my regular OB, but I'm going to mention it to my high-risk doctor as well. But I do think his movements have slowed, and I know they've changed as far as, like, he doesn't kick as much. It's more like stretching and pushing and different things like that. So not that I don't know if my high-risk doctor can do anything else. I know he can look at the blood flow of my placenta. So I mean, and I've heard of biophysical profiles, but I'm not really sure what they are or what all they consist of, or if they can really tell much of anything. But I'm gonna look it up in a little while and get a little more information before I decide to mention that to him. But anyhow, I'll have that appointment. But the movements have changed. Like I said, it's more like stretching and pushing against my stomach, and I feel like hard knots, and I guess it's like his head or his butt sticking out, so it kind of comes to an angle and makes my belly go kind of sideways. So but other than that, my ankles have swollen some towards the back of my legs, at the bottom of my feet, but only if I stand like too much. And it's only a minimum amount. It's not a whole lot. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. In this video, I'll attach some pictures of 3D ultrasound, and that's it. I'll give you a belly shot, and then we'll be done. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Let me get the belly shot. Let's see. All right, sorry, I'm in like some scrubby looking clothes, but I guess that's okay. This is my 28-week belly. So that belly button, I don't know, Ryan keeps saying it's going to pop out further, but I really don't think it can. I think it's about as far as it can really go. Let me see if I can move this camera here. Yeah, I think that's about as far as it's really going to be able to go. So, but that's it. See? Little belly. Okay. So that's the belly for you. I'll see y'all later. Alright, bye.